What is the butterfly effect? To my understanding, the term was first used by a weatherman talking about how a sandstorm was created in a desert in Africa. He says that a butterfly flapping its wings caused the air currents to start moving, and those seemingly little insignificant air currents ultimately started a sandstorm in the desert. And then that sandstorm moved off the coast and became a tropical storm, and then gradually built up more energy and became a hurricane. And now it comes across and it comes into the United States, hitting all of the islands along the way, and it's now a major storm, and it caused a lot of devastation, or it can cause flooding and all sorts of other things. The butterfly effect is similar to what happens in our mind in our everyday situations, especially when we're a child. We have a situation that happens that is pretty much insignificant, okay? And it may even be that, you complained about it to your parents or to whoever did it, and they said, oh, it's nothing, no big deal. And they brushed it off like it didn't matter. But it's scarred you for life, and it's caused you to have problems later on in life, because now this little thing that happened, like the butterfly flapping its wings, has now exploded into a storm in your mind, and it's causing us to be unhappy and unsuccessful. And what's happening is our mind is protecting us, and a lot of times the issue that we've had to surround us with cause us to put us in a state of denial, or a state of where we repress the emotion, so we're not consciously aware of it, but it's affecting us because we're unable to move forward in our life and do other things because of this repressed emotion. To go and determine what they are, to find these limiting beliefs that we have, is often very difficult to do. And I've had to do it, and everyone has to do it. So it's not like, well, it's only me. No, everyone has to do these things. We'll have to work on them. Some of it's easier, some of it's not as easy. But we have to face these issues in order to grow and to move on. So often these issues are surrounded by denial, or they're suppressed thoughts, which we need to identify. Now, identifying them can be very tricky. These limiting beliefs can show up in dreams. They can show up in anxieties that we have during the day, but we have to figure out what the block is. And then other times we know what the limiting belief is, but we don't know how to change it. In neurolinguistic programming, NLP, they suggest that if you know what the limiting belief is that happened, say your parents weren't loving to you and they weren't supportive, and that's causing you to be a failure today in life, well, go back and imagine yourself as a child where they're loving and supporting, and replace that negative memory with something positive, and look at, gee, how would that affect me today if that's how I was brought up, and then move that fast forward to today. And so we're changing that belief or that situation that happened into something positive that we can move on with and we can deal with. So we want to identify our limiting beliefs as best we can in order to move on. And we can do that through understanding our dreams, through meditation, or just examining our life, saying, gee, every time I get a job, every time I seem to be successful, I get up to a certain point in life, the job goes away. Why does that happen? Go back and examine why that might happen. To be happier and to live a more successful life, find your limiting beliefs and change them. Change your limiting beliefs today.